Dazed and Confused follows a small-town group of teenagers attending Lee High School. Released in 1993, this comedy portrays teenage culture in 1976 while drawing many similarities to our own experiences. It may seem that Dazed and Confused is nothing more than a stoner flick that documents a crazy booze-filled night for a group of friends, but it's much deeper than that. It reveals a variety of different pressures that students all across the spectrum face.
Okay, all you freshman fucks, listen up!
Almost everyone has some aspect to relate to, making Dazed and Confused a classic for American culture. After watching, I wondered to myself if that's how life really was in 1976. One aspect that made it seem somewhat far-fetched was a complete lack of any repercussions for the trouble they get in. The group of youngsters dodged bullets from an angry neighbor, raced each other down country roads,
Manny, you better have your wood screws! Fuck you! I'm gonna blow your doors completely off!
and even scaled up an industrial tower, all of which while they were intoxicated. These may have been exciting moments, but the audience would begin to overlook the deeper themes if they are no longer able to relate to the story. However, a horrible tragedy or death would have taken the movie in a completely different direction and veer away from the film's fun, carefree roots. Besides surviving the entire night, the crowd of high schoolers avoid any trouble with teachers, parents, and even the police. The authority figures appeared to be lackadaisical about almost everything, from allowing a freshman to buy alcohol to catching the boys trespassing onto the football field.
Well. Couple of football players.
In some scenes, their lifestyle even seems to be encouraged by the so-called authority figures, even when young Mitch Kramer seeks help from his teacher to avoid being beaten by the seniors.
Mr. Payne, sir, you know, every second that you could let us out early would really increase our chances of survival.
It's like our sergeant told us before one trip into the jungle. Men, 50 of you are leaving on a mission. 25 of you ain't coming back.
Okay.
It's exaggerations like this that made many of the adult roles unconvincing. Scott Tobias said, "There's a melancholy tone that's been curiously denied as the film's cult following has amassed. While distracted from the weed smoking, binge drinking, and late-night partying, the depressing tone is sometimes ignored." Dazed and Confused brings out many of the more painful memories of growing up, maybe being hazed by older girls or even being paddled by the senior jocks. Many of the characters face an internal conflict within as well, whether it's the popular quarterback who is hesitant to succumb to the pressure of signing his commitment, or even the nerd that stands up for himself after being pushed around at a party.
First.
The fun-filled night eventually ends on the 50-yard line of the high school football field, surrounded by their closest friends, the perfect place to reflect on future plans and become anxious for the year to come. Dazed and Confused brings me back to my own high school years and leaves me reminiscing about all the great and not so great memories.